So I've been playing Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun. The game started out pretty good, real-time stealth where you reactively play the game. If you get caught, you're forced to handle the situation quickly, whether that means kill everyone or hide. Each character has their own unique movement speeds and abilities such as laying traps, throwing shuriken, AoE massive kill moves, or just shooting people. The story and voice acting was compelling, which encouraged me to complete the game. But, I mean, my experience between playing the first 2 levels, where I was happy, and my experience playing pretty much every level past that, I noticed many flaws in the game. It's strange to me how the game started out playing and functioning one way, teaching you the mechanics, and then in another level, completely disregards everything it taught you, and you're left wondering, why does this not work anymore? Early on, you'd be shown that a character like Mugen could be useful for running in and killing a huge group of enemies, while a character like Hayato, the ninja, would be helpful to lure enemies away or kill them with the shuriken. But as I mentioned, the game throws that gameplay out the window. Situations turn from properly using the correct character into a never-ending grind of picking off guards. If you load up any level and scour the map, you'll notice there is easily 50 plus guards a level. You are physically not able to sneak by these guards. You are left to pick them off, which is boring. It's honestly easier to just kill most of the ones in your way and then move along. It doesn't feel like the game was designed for the player to figure out the best way to handle a problem. It's more like, here's an awful setup of guards, now painstakingly play around it. There was barely any thought in the process of enemy placement. Almost every situation in the game, you'll find a guard who is watching a guard that's also being watched by a guard who continues to be watched by a super guard in a tower who has double vision, finally ending with that guard in the tower being watched by 2 additional guards. How do you handle that situation? Aside from slowly, and I mean slowly, luring one guard at a time extremely far out of range, there is no way to kill anyone without being detected. Being caught punishes you as well by spawning like 20 additional guards that will patrol around everywhere, and these are guards that you can't just normal stealth kill. There's a bunch of parameters around it. Like the samurai, you have to weaken first with a gunshot to even kill them. It's just a mess. So you're better off trying a strategy, failing, reloading your save, alter your plan a bit, die, rinse, repeat, until whatever plan you made up finally works. I don't know what the developers had in mind because they don't teach you to handle these kind of situations, but I've examined guard paths for over 15 minutes at a time just to develop a way to go around it, and you can't. You physically can't maneuver through these guards. You have to kill them one by one to get to your objective. The levels you play are going to end up taking an hour plus because of how badly each guard is able to cover each other. It's truly poor game design. They could have had a specific path by either setting up the possibility of using a character's unique abilities or design pathways that could be used to pass up ones that are heavily guarded. Just like little caves or, nooks that you can crawl through and the enemies wouldn't notice. Just something to give you a minor advantage over the guards. But alas, every single situation ends up going the same way. You're pushed into slowly picking off a unit of guards, usually around 10 at a time per area, or having you distract all 10 at once while you try to sneak 2 to 3 people at a time or separately, which would mean you do it 3 different times through this group of 10, just to be at the next part of the level where you have to sneak by another group of 10. I would say sneaking is more difficult. There is a mechanic in the game called Shadow Mode, which allows you to set up one action and control another character so you're able to orchestrate multiple actions at once. You're able to do any kind of action, whether it's carrying a body stealthily or killing a guy while throwing a shuriken at another guy. You can do anything in the game. Any action can be multiplied, and you could have any one of your characters do it. So if you're 4 players, you can have 4 players do an action. While this does allow creative movement for the gameplay, it can only be used minimally. You would think being able to tell Hayato to throw a shuriken while you kill this other guard is a good idea, but what about the other guards who are watching the both of you already? So you kill these 2 guards, you're getting caught, you're not given any kind of reactive time. There's no way that you can switch back to the guy who's about to be shot and use one of his abilities to handle the situation. There is no time to react. So even with the 2 actions you can use, it makes no difference. While in shadow mode, it's like your character is thinking. Your character is in deep thought. He's analyzing the situation around him so he can plot the best move or attack. Time should freeze in game so that you're able to pick exactly how you want to move or attack or shoot a guy. And this would allow the player to have one minor advantage in this game of cat and mouse. Instead of having the game pause when you turn on shadow mode, it simply slows down time by probably about 60%, which isn't nearly long enough. Many times after the joint attack, I end up having another guard spot the body, but I have no time to react, and then I die. You'll never have an advantage over your enemy. This game is completely against you at every turn. When it comes to the enemy's vision, it's based on a view cone that can detect at different levels depending on if you're standing or crouching. The view of most enemies is absolutely insane though. Certain enemies can overview most of the map and can have vision over like 6 of their friends. So there's no way you're going to be killing that guard because he's being watched by everyone else. When you're being detected, you get a second in order to move out of the view cone or crouch. What I quickly noticed though is if you dodge out of the cone while also being seen by another guard that you didn't know was there, you will not see both view cones. The game will only allow you to view one cone at a time. So you can get detected by guard B while you are dodging guard A and not even know both guards were looking at you. It seems like being caught for bullshit reasons is the norm when you're playing this game, because dumb shit happened to me constantly. Watch as I sit in this bush, which completely obstructs all enemies from viewing you. You are 100% stealth. The only reason they catch you is if they specifically know you're in there, so they go and investigate the bush. So I'm sitting in this bush, can't get caught, and I still get caught. There's no reason this happens except the guard just doesn't care about the in-game rules or mechanics. He decides he can see through the bush, even though it's full stealth. What is that? Why does that happen? And it happens all the time. It would be fine if he was investigating me, but the dude is just on patrol. So as I continued playing, I came to the conclusion that overall, the game is cooler in theory than how it was executed. I did enjoy playing through the game's story. I loved how unique all the characters were and how they had different abilities and colors depending on their character. And it was just fun to play through in that regard. But when it came to the gameplay, it was just a hassle to get through a level. You beat a level and you're like done for the day because it's just too frustrating to continue. Constantly getting caught, trying to figure out the next part of a mission to get by all the guards or killing them isn't fun. That process should be fun. When you play a game like Hitman, you enjoy figuring out the target placements and where the enemies patrol, how you're going to sneak in, do the best job you can, and get that silent assassin rating. But when you're playing Blades of the Shogun, it's kind of just a mess. You know, you walk up and you're like, well, I guess I'll kill this guy real quick, hopefully, and not get caught because it's going to spawn like 20 extra guards. So it would be best to lure this guy, lure that guy, kill this guy, pull him into a bush, wait forever, and then rinse repeat to the 10 other guards and then slowly progress. It's not fun. That's stupid. And I'm applying the same strategy that I told you over and over and over again, and that's my entire playthrough of the game, from start to finish. There are just so many guards. There's legit more guards in a normal level than on this live battlefield mission. The problems in this game completely set the game back for me. I'm even playing the game on normal, so all of my complaints were easily fixable. It would be one thing if this was annoying on like hard, so you could be like, oh, whatever, it's artificial difficulty for the ability of the game being harder. This is on normal. This is like the basic way they intended you to play the game. The game is playable, but only if you have the patience for getting indiscriminately caught. So how would you rate Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun? Well, I'd give it 5 dead guards out of 10. By the way, that's like 5% of the guards in the level. The game needs to have more focus on the player being able to make possible strategies, or the amount of guards should have been reduced. As always, I thank you all for watching the video. Let me know what you thought of Blades of the Shogun, This developer is also in the works to make a cowboy themed game, much like this. Hopefully there's less guards though. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and sub to the channel for more content every week. This is Demon Fox Yoko, signing out.